when declaring and defending. That must take its toll. So, quite interesting in the sense that north-south are quite fast. Sorry, we're not getting from Prooijen and Verhees, and they're not slow. 1 trump is 14 to 16. 2 spade is range ask, and 3 clubs shows a maximum and a natural club suit. It's known as the Baron convention. In the other room, north past south, 1 no trump opening. Range, the opening wasn't in the other room. 12, this. 15, opposite 10, and he passed 1 no trump. Well, he did, as we see, made 3 over tricks for a score of 180. And the Americans will increase their lead now. Oh, Ben's trying to say something, but nothing's getting through.
If West won the spade and won the diamond and played spades, he might set up spades for his partner while he still had the entry.
We can explain the pass of Renault Trump in the closed room because they played 12 to 15 and you have
right
10, so you wouldn't look for a game really.
Quirk of ranges, non-vulnerable. North wasn't going to look for a game, whereas at every other table, pretty much, there was a no trump where the minimum high cards were 15 and North was going to drive to game rather than even invite it. It is a flaw of the 4-point range within a no trump.
Yes, not the wives are well aware of that risk and they are well prepared to take that risk.
The exchange they get for it is that when they open a diamond, they always have diamonds, or at least a distributional hand with at least 3 diamonds. Once in a while, they may have 4-card major and 5 clubs, I think, but typically 4 or more diamonds. So that's one of the major disadvantages of precision, is that lack of definition in the 1 diamond opening. They overcome that, but at the same time, they'll miss games on hands like this, where you just rearrange the opponent's cards slightly and 3 no trumps wouldn't be making. Keeping an eye on the transnational field. Who's on the bubble? Mahaffey is 14th place. White House is in 16th place. Shanghai team is in 17th. What are you supposed to do with, well, when he pitches a club, of course, Declarer's chances of making 5 club tricks have gone up a lot. He's cashing the Queen of Diamonds. He doesn't care about setting up a winner for West, because he wants East with 5 clubs to discard one. And he has slow spade losers that he can discard on this trick and on the next diamond if necessary. Will Declarer duck a club or cash the ace? One of the two.
Well, if he sees an honor on his left, it might be a stiff one, and he has still a financing position.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the ace of clubs is the proper way to attack. Mm-hmm. Now he knows that clubs are running.
He may not be able to afford the hard finesse, but in fact it's the same number of imps either way, 6. Monaco Z is up to 27th place, 2-4-3.
But they're playing Damianova in 24th, so they're down a couple of imps in this match.
They need something like
close
maybe
to
21 or 2 perhaps.
I don't think that's
going
to be enough.
Enough. Okay. We'll keep an eye on what 16th place currently has, 17 to it, I guess, or something to. Declarer did make the over trick when he's pitched hearts to keep spades. And USA to kick off with a 6-imp gain.
Board number 18. East open a spade, South doubles on his 10-point with a nice distribution. Redouble by West, probably showing cards. 2 hearts by North, and 4 spades concludes the bidding. The lead of the Jack of Hearts. The Declarer probably loses a heart, and when a club comes through, losing 2 clubs.
Best lead is a bump.
Right.
Or do I say would be?
No, you can't.
Would have been.
You can't criticize South unduly for not having found that.
Still searching, I suppose.
Obviously, the defenders have a heart trick and 2 club tricks to cash unless they lead the ace of clubs. They should get them. 4 spades, double. Okay, well, West probably has a redouble. Maybe not.
Will North bid 5 hearts?
For sure.
And if he does, what happens with the contract?
It's a very sporting double by South. But
you lose 2 diamonds and a heart, at least.
It may be that what Grue is thinking about is not whether it did, but whether the 5 direct was on the trust and moved to 5 hearts.
What is the thought behind that, Barry?
One sequence should be better than the other, and the question is whether the direct 5 heart bids is a slam try or bidding 4-no and correcting to 5 hearts is.
Yeah, but isn't 4-no trump usually 2 places to play?
Yes, but if you correct to 5 hearts, partner isn't going to read you for a 2-suiter if your agreement is that this is the way not to make a slam try.
Yeah, then you really have to have that agreement,
right.
I think.
I believe it's still legal to have agreements in 49 of the American 50 states. Well,
which one is out?
Alabama.
Alabama.
So using a trump lead, that's best. If you can do that, that was a joke, of course, but even that.
undoubled. It's not that bad.
No double?
Well,
Plenty of trouble. How many tricks will Declarer emerge with?
lots if he tries.
You think he won't be trying?
Let's see. He can.
How about we win the ace, rough the first trick,
Yeah.
play a heart to the ace, take the club finesse,
Right.
repeat the club finesse. We can't get back to hand to repeat the club, so you have to play clubs from the top. So rough the first trick, heart to the ace, 10 of clubs, club to the jack, ace of clubs, roughed and over roughed, spade rough, club rough. We lead a spade, they over rough and cash their diamonds. It's probably down 2 at best, might well be 3 down.
Quite amazing that West did not double 5 hearts.
I'm sorry, but again, it functions so earlier of the fact that the Dutch team were very aggressive preemptors. Once in a while you lose out when you play your partner not to have his bidding, and it turns out he actually has better than you might expect.
Absolutely true.
It's not that that's a bad policy, but it's one of the downsides of preempting actively at every turn.
By the way, would it be everybody's choice over 4 spades to double for take out with the south hand?
No.
I don't think so, indeed.
I think Justin Lall would have doubled a 1 spade, 2 spade, 3 spade, or 4 spade opening bid. He probably would not have doubled a 5 spade opening.
No.
But as we've seen already in this match, he is an extremely aggressive bidder. So the defenders scored the King of Hearts at trick 2. It might have been Declarer's best chance to make the hand, perhaps. If it had held, he might have been able to set up the clubs, and then West would have been roughing in with his trump trick.
Onstein 2, first 16, and currently at 19th position. Monaco Z is dropping 1 place.
Why? Now when East shifted to a singleton diamond, but it took him forever to do that, Declarer probably knew that he had no more trumps might have discarded on the diamond. He's going to go at least 3 down.
But it's undoubled, so who worries about that?
4 down.
No double, no trouble.
Look at Louk Verhees' face as he's trying to explain, it's your fault for having such a good hand, nothing to do with me.
4 down indeed. Indeed. Still you'll say winning an imp.
Closed room. Final contract 3 diamonds by north-south, making 110 on the lead of the Queen of Spades. Defenders had 4 major suit winners. It's a pretty shocking 2 diamond overcall in all senses of the word. In the closed room, notice though that South did not open his hand, playing a 12-15 no trump. I'm not sure whether Grue and Lall play a diamond, a spade, 3 clubs as both minors, non-invitational. It's not really ideal to do it with this pattern, but I suppose it's a possibility.
Bauke Muller in the closed room did not open a 10, a 12, 15 no trump. Sorry.
Good result for Netherlands women in the playoff, making 1 spade at 1 table and defeating 4 spades in the other room. The 2 diamond raise obviously does not guarantee a great hand, just like raising one of a minor to 2 in competition and standard. But South has extra diamonds because he could have had only 2 the first time out. So he's competed to 3 diamonds, and West doubled 3 diamonds for takeout.
But I think you're better in a spade contract than in a hard contract.
Yes. So there goes the potentially reasonable result from the other room. The defenders can, on a diamond lead, I suspect North may win the jack at the first trick and shift to a club to make life easy for his partner. Is that the right thing to do, P.O. here? Should you win the jack of diamonds rather than the ace?
As a discovery play?
Well, more because if partner has 2 high clubs, you want him to be able to put you in with confidence.
The point, of course, is the 7. Well, he played the queen, but
Interesting choice. 3rd and lowest.
yeah, it might have been from 10, 8, 7, 2, and then declare has king small.
So at this point, Lall knows that East has the jack of diamonds left, so it's safe to play another diamond. The fact that he doesn't is neither here nor there. North knows that East has another diamond. When he puts the queen on the first trick, he should make his partner comfortable that that's the case. Because North knows that South led third highest from 4, so Declarer has 2. By playing the queen of diamonds and pretending he doesn't have the jack, he should make South comfortable to play a low diamond rather than playing clubs from the top.
So that way, defense will diamond 3 clubs is enough.
Nicely defended.
So you're saying that if North had had 6 diamonds, should he have done something different?
Yeah, I think he might have done something different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure
like
exactly what.
Maybe 2 no.
Maybe winning the jack of diamonds at the first trick would send that message the best way that he could. Not easy.
Board 20. South plays 3 no after East has opened a heart on third hand.
We've caught up the closed room. They're in the middle of the play. They're playing 3-0 on an ingenious lead of the heart 10. Declarer will presumably win in hand, cash the ace of clubs and throw up a little in his mouth. How many tricks?
Well, the good news for him is that he is not in 6 clubs.
That's true.
As Italy was.
You can see 8 tricks and probably a 9th trick on an end play. There could be between clubs because of these asking us to play a diamond to hand and maybe collect a second diamond trick in the ending. But it's not absolutely clear they can do that. And this round, although you would rather expect us to finish up in a high number of clubs, perhaps 6 as well. We've all been in worse slams than 6 clubs. We've all made worse slams than 6 clubs. But not today.
Notice the difference in Grue and Lall play a strong club as the Wijs Mother do. In the closed room, North elected to pass, not to open 2 clubs, showing 11-15 or sometimes 10-15 naturalish, where Joe Grue decides to open his 9 count.
For no trump, I think might be quantitative, not Blackwood. I'm guessing, but I would have expected 4 diamonds or 4 clubs to be key card, and that this sequence ought to be quantitative.
Question is, what would 4 clubs be? If 4 clubs is forcing, which I doubt, then
Seems reasonable to play 4 clubs as forcing.
And 4 diamonds as key card. That's what I would expect them to do. Because I think 3 clubs suggests a minimum and no major.
So if 4 clubs is forcing, then 4 now trump is quantitative indeed.
and would you pass the North hand, or would you go on
maybe
to
you
slam?
should sign off by bidding 5 clubs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think I would do. And after that, The South might then bid 6 anyway. It's hard to imagine making 4-no trumps if you can't bring the club suit in. And if you can bring the club suit in, it's only if you have 3 top losers in the side suit, which is fairly unlikely.
Yeah. Yes. Passed.
Well,
That's tough.
Let's see.
It looks like he just has made a tough decision indeed.
so on a spade lead, I'm sure West will lead a spade. Declare wins cheaply, and let's say cashes the ace-queen of clubs, goes to dummy with the ace of hearts, cashes the king of clubs, pitching say a diamond,
Plays
leads a diamond to hand. Now, how many tricks has he got at this point? 2 spades, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, and 1 diamond. That's 8. N plays East with... East has been under pressure on this guys. So East has had to fight 3 discards, none of them being spades. So let's say he pitches 1 heart and 2 diamonds.
Then he has still jack of diamonds bare.
I think he can get end played.
I'm backing the defense, so...
You're back in the defense?
Not for any particular reason, I just can't see 10 tricks yet, but you'll show me, and I expect Justin will show me, because he has the advantage of not being able to see the opponent's cards.
No, but he can't possibly hope for... I could hope for Doubleton King in spades, of course.
Yeah.
That he could do.
Or even Declare might think that West has the king of spades. I'm not sure about their leads.
Play in the closed room. Muller won the heart lead, cashed the ace-queen of clubs, and made the rather strange play of the king of diamonds. Defense took it and cleared hearts. Declare won the king of clubs and took a spade finesse. And now he's going to try and end play East with a heart, I suppose, since East pitched a heart at trick 2. He's going to try and end play him to give up a second diamond trick or a spade.
Second diamond trick is hard for him to get, I think.
I agree. If the defenders unblock in diamonds...
If West holds on to it, then and East unblocks the jack, if that's
The 6
the
of
case.
spades may turn out to be a big card as well in some positions. Except East has unblocked it.
No. Yeah, that's correct so far by East.
Has Declara exited with a losing club on the 4th round?
Did he?
Yes, rather than
Look.
playing a diamond towards hand.
That was a good play because you have to play a heart.
Spade doesn't
Not
work.
I don't think so. You win the spade and you... Oh yes, West still has the diamond
Yep.
stopper.
So in the
And South has thrown a heart away also.
in the Venice Cup final, France's lead is at 39. The playoff match is quite close, 11 imps for England. In the seniors, France lead by 18 over USA 2, Poland by 26 over USA 1.
It's
In
such a
practice, where he
pity,
got to, then Prooijen was unplayable, certainly for a ninth trick and maybe a 10th.
such a pity that you must go minors on a hand like that. 4 no trump down 2.
He'll be hoping that the other table gets to 6 clubs and goes down to the 4-0 club break. But no luck, of course.
Well, they played 3 no trump from the south side.
So Grue and Lall were better placed to be
in the other room,
Sorry,
and they
Rob,
make the contract. And they make the contract.
They got a heart lead because in the other room it was East that had opened 1 heart.
Yeah, and East got then played to lead away from his king of spades. Well played, declarer, was Muller. There's 1 no trump a psych here? There must be.
It looks like one.
Yeah. Trying to intimidate.
Yeah, I think it must be, otherwise I don't understand it at all.
Try to, nothing bad could happen to him really. He could just retreat 2 hearts later. Begin doubling something. No trumps.
It looks like 4 spades is on.
Yes. Could be. If you really want to cycle with that hand, you have to bid a spade.
Yes.
Yeah, but it won't help because people play 2 spades now by Verhees. That's natural.
The trick is to lose the first club trick to North.
Well, he knows
Or
where
just
the
complete a
ace
trick
of
to
clubs is, so he...
Down King.
Yeah. And that was, he knows that North has the king of diamond and the ace of club for sure in this hand. So he's just ensured that he doesn't have more than 1 club loser.
Interesting, it wasn't guaranteed that North had the ace of clubs, given their propensity for light openings, but the line of play was very reasonable.
Two spades is a relay, or as part of for strength, and three hearts showing a minimum with four hearts. And Grue had enough.
So I guess two-no trump would have said, I have a singleton somewhere, and four cards, and then partner could ask. Direct three clubs would have shown minimum with three cards, and three diamonds would show minimum with cards, and three hearts show four cards.
Diamond, a heart, two hearts, I believe, guarantees a balanced hand, or a balanced hand or a very, very poor hand.
In effect, it took a diamond lead to hold this contract. In other words, if they had bid to four, Prooijen would have to lead a diamond, which would be very difficult for him.
East, in fact, needed to lead his diamond to have a chance of getting a diamond rush.
Now they can't stop Declarer from taking 10 tricks. I don't expect them to bid the game in the other room either. If you can open this light, I mean, the 12 count is no excuse for bidding game. Then you only have an invite. Remember, one diamond didn't show diamonds, so Grue couldn't count on a double fit.
If the ace of hearts is offside, then Grue needs to be able to ruff a club, so they can't force all of his hearts out. His only real problem would be if four hearts are offside, and then he would be losing a lot of heart tricks, but they still can't draw a trump, so he can always get a club ruff.
playing a natural system, you wouldn't open the south cards. That's moot. I got a message from a spectator. Well, if you played a natural system, where one diamond shows at least 4 cards, then North would have known that they had a double fit. Well, that's true if you open the south hand playing a natural system, and I don't think many will. Balanced 11 counts should not be opened, in my opinion. Well, strong club systems are different.
Yes, it's well within range, Roland, isn't it? You only need 10 to 15 in their case. That's a relatively tight range compared to natural systems, so it's entirely reasonable to open it.
I can't remember who told me that at the last nationals in the US, practically all 11
Did you
are
notice
open,
how
no matter shape.
often they got too high because of that?
But isn't this the influence of the Meckwell system on the other players?
Now, you can't compare a natural system to a strong club system, where openings are
well, you can't, but obviously other people think they can, and they think, hey, if those guys can open with 11, we can get any further than that.
I think it's very dangerous to look at one bid that one pair is doing and not think about it in the context of their whole system. So it's very easy for Meckwell to
quite
open
agree.
10 counts. It's very easy for Lall and Grue to open 10 counts.
I quite agree with you, and I also would add that you have to be able to play the hands the way these guys can play them.
Or you could just play against worse defenders. Either will work. The whole Meckwell theory, of course, is that it's much easier to play than to defend, so rather than have a tough time defending, bid some more.
So two clubs here. Fourth suit forcing.
looks like it, yes. I'm not quite sure why he did check back here. I mean, after one heart and one spade by a partner. You know you want to play in 3-note trumps, don't you?
Maybe trying to protect Queen third club or Jack 10 kind of holdings in partner's hand.
Yeah.
I have the impression that he wanted Lall to bid no trump. He was trying to trump bid to him.
Maybe clearly one spade didn't say he had diamonds because he had clubs. So maybe 2 clubs is just a check-back mechanism to find out what partner's minor if he has one. safety playing clubs, trying to avoid losing 2 club tricks and also trying to avoid getting West on lead.
Yes, this will probably look strange to inexperienced players, intermediate players. So, wow, you have a finesse available. So if the Queen of Clubs is with East, I mean, you can play a club to the Ace and finesse the Jack on the way back and everything will be fine and you'll score 5 club tricks. That's true, but you have to see the hand in context. And West here is the danger hand. You don't want him on lead. You don't want him to lead a heart through. And you may argue it doesn't matter, he has all the high hearts. Yes, that's also true. But unfortunately, the players don't have the hand records, so they don't know that.
Grue was also thinking about the potential for a 4-1 club break. So his best play for 4 tricks in clubs is what he just did. And it happened to be safe on the heart layout as well.
I suppose the play would have been different playing match points or border match, where you must take as many tricks as possible. That's why I like imp so much and MP not so much, because I really like the safety aspect of playing imps.
Yeah, maybe it's a personality test, Roland. I like them both equally. They test different skills. I think it's very interesting what Prooijen did.
What I like about imps is being able to play in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds rather than 3-no trump, if I think that 5 clubs is the correct contract to be in.
What I like about pairs is being able to double the opponents in vulnerable part scores, shooting for 200. That's always good fun.
That's true.
So here, Grue's play at trick 2 is very interesting. He put the Queen of Spades on the table when I think many people would expect him to go after clubs straight away. What Grue was doing was, often in that situation when you lead the Queen of Spades, it scores, which is handy for him. He doesn't know yet exactly how well the club suit's going to go for him. So there wasn't a whole lot of danger. He had plenty of control all over the place. That's a good way of trying to get the second chance going early.
Then you may also argue, I mean, it is imps, so over tricks don't really matter. Well, 9 tricks, 10 tricks, doesn't matter. But, unless you lose the match by 1 imp, of course, or 0.33, as happened to Poland against France last night in the seniors.
Obviously at teams, once you've got your contract under control, that's the time you start looking around for the other tricks, because they do add up across a 128 board match.
So 1 diamond doesn't promise any diamonds, and it's 12 to 14 balanced, or a 10 to 15 hand with both minors, or 6+ diamonds, or 4 diamonds and 5 spades, or 4-4-4-1, or 4-4-5-0.
Yes, that is really a multicolored 1 diamond, isn't it?
Yes.
And we will probably also get to see their canopy openings, where they open a shorter suit before a longer. What they do if they play blue club or Roman club, but many, I mean, it's not played by many nowadays. I think Austria is the last country to actually play blue club.
I'm sure Verhees and Prooijen have done the analysis, and I'll bet that one diamond is a significant loser for them. It's such and poorly specified opening that it's just begging the opponents to take a bid. Whenever I see opponents opening something so unspecified, especially when it's one diamond, I really stretch to make a bid to put the pressure on their agreements and to make it hard for them to find their true fit. The trade-off, of course, is that they have a lot of very specified openings, like their two-level openings, which show 4 of a minor and 5 of a particular major, and I'm sure that those openings are very big winners for them. So there's a trade-off involved. Somewhere in your system you have to have something which doesn't work so well for you.
So while this is playing out, maybe I should mention that we have a bonus broadcast for you today. We have the usual 3 segments in the finals of the Bermuda Bowl, Venice Cup and Senior Bowl. But we also have one quarter final, well 2 rather, 2 quarterfinals of the transnational teams later in the day, starting at 20:30 Central European time, 19:30 in the UK, 2:30 p.m. in New York, 11:30 a.m. in Los Angeles. And Hedy will be back for that one.
Yes, I will.
That'll be about 3 past my bedtime, Roland.
Yeah, intentionally I didn't mention Sydney and Melbourne because I know it will be in the middle of the night for you.
Roland, are those matches round of 16 or quarterfinals in the transnational?
Well, they changed the format yesterday, so they're actually having the rounds of 16 as well. It was meant to be just 15 qualifying rounds of 10 boards and then on to the quarterfinals. So only 8 teams advancing among 151, and reasonably, in my opinion, they changed the format and made 16 teams advance to the round of 16.
Of the strong club opening in North, overcall, overcall and the normal 1/2 bid, and now West is in the tank.
Even at these colours, he can bid 3 diamonds, perhaps even 3 clubs. I don't know.
Yes, I was just going to say 3 clubs here. He's a bit too good for 3 diamonds with a nice 4-card fit and a singleton and a good 5-card side suit.
Well, yes and no.
Exactly.
I mean, too good. Well, you heard a strong club and you heard a positive response, and you're vulnerable against not. So you really don't want to get too high.
Yeah, I think it's a fair bet the partner doesn't have a whole lot.
You're never going to sacrifice anyway, yeah? So the intention of 3 clubs should really be to give partner a choice of leads.
Now this
If
can be
North becomes
this can be beaten. You have to play diamond and diamond, and he takes the king and he plays the king of clubs, and now East roughs that, and eventually he can discard 2 clubs on 2 hearts by taking the king of hearts with the ace, but he still has another club loser.
because he has to overtake the king of hearts.
Yes, he has no other entry to dummy.
The 10 doesn't come down. Yeah, that's possible. That would be a very good defense, and they seem to find it.
Well, let's see what Dirk is correcting this to. But I think that if after the ace of diamonds he plays his 3 of diamonds, it should be preferential for clubs.
Yeah, I'm asked that question by our Hollander. With the change in conditions of contest for playoff, does that mean those players get to enter transnational? Yes,
no.
they do. What do you mean? No, they do.
I'm sorry. No, it's not that. It's that Dirk first showed West playing a small diamond on the Queen of Diamonds and not overtaking it, and that's when I said, oh no, because I was disappointed at not ideal defense. But then he corrected that. Maybe he was joking with me. Yep, looks down now.
Looking at all 4 hands, you may claim that this is not a difficult defense. But I would claim it is, because, I mean, it's not attractive to lead from a suit headed by the ace and not the king there. Ace, queen, jack, he could be squandering a trick by doing that. So, I think it was very well judged by Van Prooijen, and it's not an automatic lead.
Best return here is a heart, breaks up any possibility of a squeeze. There is no squeeze, but
no.
Good technique to return a heart.
Well, you can play spades.
You can, because there's no squeeze. I'm just saying that technically the right play is a heart.
Well, he'll think about it for a while.
Sure, there's no prizes for finishing quickly.
Muller must have heard that before Ben. It's quite funny. I can tell you a funny story. What this is playing out, because it's not interesting anymore. Glenn Grothan from Norway is also a very slow player, and it so happened that he would always finish after his teammates. So they would just be waiting to, and then on one occasion, about 5 or 6 years ago, he managed to finish before them. And he was so confused because he couldn't find his teammates.
Hilarious.
But of course he's been playing on teams with Helgemo a lot, and we know that he plays very fast. So it's all, of course, most people will finish behind Helgemo. Did you see the hand, by the way, by Helgemo that won the award for Best Played Hand of the Year, the 7-heart contract?
No?
I did indeed. It's better than the best played hand of the year, best played hand of the decade.
Well, wasn't that amazing?
Roland, did you watch the video of your prize giving that you were absent from?
I did, yes. I'm getting a diploma.
Yes, I
eventually.
saw. I saw they handed it over to Jan.
Yes, Jan Swan first from the press room, and then on to Jan van Kleef, and then on to Georg Norris from Denmark Seniors, and eventually it'll end up in Denmark.
And you don't even have to frame it because it's framed already.
Yep. But I think I have to use a nail and a hammer to get it onto the wall.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but do you know how to do that?
No, in that case I have a problem.
Oh my God.
Because I have 10 thumbs.
Perhaps super glue.
You could try some glue.
Snap heady.
Sorry.
No, we just said the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. So he's trying to go for the squeeze, but it's just not going to work. But it's a good try. And it's actually not like he's got any other option. Either the 10 is going to drop or it's not going to drop.
Yes, and that's the Muller effect, of course. The other room, toast room, started 10 minutes ahead, and they are on board 24. Also, they're playing against Hurd and Woodridge is also a slow player. It all adds up.
Yeah, but he's not in your club.
Wow, that is a
This is
powerful
an excellent
hand.
slam. North has an excellent hand and should be able to do some bidding.
Yeah. And now North has shown a hand too good for a 2-club overcall. Double followed by 3 clubs. That is some hand vulnerable. So Lall has a huge hand for him now. Although King Jack of Diamonds, not the best values you can have. You have 4-card support for partner. You do have a 5-side suit and a singleton.
I don't think he's going to be too worried about diamonds. He'd like to be able to show his singleton. 4 hearts here could be a splinter bid.
Wow. Did he really pass? No, of course not.
Apparently not.
Okay, so 4 hearts would not be a splinter bid then.
Oh, maybe, but it's quite possible that 3-no trump is the right contract. I don't think Grue had to be quite as strong as this for his 3-club bid, so Lall was just making room.
No, but
Okay,
now he's shown an even better hand when he pulls 3-no trumps to 4 clubs. I say, I don't care about your diamond stopper partner, I want to go to slam. And that should mean that he can control diamonds himself.
Well, I think the free bid of 3 hearts over the double of 3 diamonds already shows that he's not worried about diamonds, doesn't it? If he had 2 diamond losers, for instance, he could pass the double. 3 diamond double and pass and see what your partner says. Lall is not prepared to Q-bid his singleton heart.
No, because of King Jack of Diamonds. That is his problem. I mean, and he knows he can throw them out of the window.
Okay, but does he know that his partner has a singleton diamond? Or a second round control of diamonds?
Yeah, I think so. When he bids 4 clubs. I really think so. But that indicates a singleton diamond.
Well,
Lall wasn't obliged to bid 4 diamonds. He was going to bid 4 hearts, so it was up to Grue to decide for himself if he had diamond control, which of course he does.
To me, the 3 heart bid already shows the diamond control.
What would you do with a 1-4-2-6?
You can pass when you have 2 losers in the suit. It's forcing anyhow.
Wait a minute. Board 25 has now been adjusted to 4 spades making. Anyone care to tell me how it's made? Don't tell me that he threw a heart at any point, because I don't believe that.
No, I don't either. That's very weird.
Very curious.
Well, I'm told that he actually did.
On 26, I wonder if Lall thought he'd done enough with 3 diamonds followed by 3-no trump. That actually showed something extra for what he'd already done.
Going back to 25, our spectators watching the live video say that he actually did throw a heart. I can't just imagine that. with ace queen jack to 5 in dummy.
When West made the 6 in clubs, that surely shows 4 cards in diamonds, so he has no reason to hang on to his diamonds. So it's very weird that he would discard a heart.
Yes, but I scrolled back now and I can see that the vugraph operator also confirmed that he threw a heart. Strange as it may look, but he did. So one very good board for USA coming, 25, and one not so good, 26. So I predict not much of a swing when you put those two boards together, but we should see. Pretty straightforward game here. You have 3 top losers, and 1 diamond goes away on the 4th club, so there's nothing to the play here really.
Three diamonds by North, heart raise.
So again, for our intermediate players, we have many intermediate players among the 4,500. You will see the declarer will cash the ace of spades first to guard against a 4-0 break in either direction. Normally it won't matter because you'll find 2-2 and 3-1 breaks more often, but 10% of the time you will find them 4-0, the 4-0 break. You will cash an honor from the hand that has 2 of them.
Three diamonds was a neat bid as well. As a passed hand, 3 diamonds showed heart support. So Grue wanted to raise hearts, but didn't want partner to lead them. He bid what he wanted partner to lead instead. Of course, Lall had the ace and the king of hearts, so he was always going to lead those out first.
Going back to how to play the spade suit, I mean, as I said before, inexperienced players will never notice that they played the suit wrong when they cast the king first, because they don't find the 4-0 break very often, and when they do, they will also be okay if North has 4 of them. But there's no reason to risk anything because you have a 100% play for no loser.
In a long match, especially Bermuda Bowl final, it's very important to preserve your energy. So right now, I imagine Verhees is just humming a little tune to himself in his head, and Prooijen is sitting there quietly waiting for Lall to do something, and he's letting Lall use his energy.
At this point he could actually claim.
So I think that was completely deliberate rough and discard by Lall. I'm confident that he knew for sure Grue had 4 hearts, but Lall could think of no way to defeat this except trying to muddle up declarer's spades in some way, hoping perhaps that Van Prooijen started with 3 spades only. None of that's working, but you might as well try something.
So, as expected, the result on 25 is in, 4 spades went down the other room, 10 ups to USA, but they may lose them all again in 5 to 7 minutes. Could be longer, because Muller and Device will be bidding the hand either to game or to slam.
Two hearts shows at least 4 clubs and at least 5 hearts. So a special bid in the Verhees Van Prooijen system. And about 10 to 15 points.
And no more.
So my experience, this sort of bid, this very specific sort of bid, is a huge imp winner, especially opening at the 2 level. Takes away a lot of space from the opponents. Your hand is very well defined. I expect Verhees and Van Prooijen find themselves regularly winning a lot of imps after these sort of openings.
This would be a too hard opening in your system too, wouldn't it, Ben?
Yes, it would, and our experience is certainly it's a big game. I think Verhees and Van Prooijen probably win even more because theirs is even more tightly defined than ours.
It wouldn't be a too hard opening for you, Roland?
No, certainly not, no. I don't play intermediate openings, yeah. I don't.
And it would be too strong for a weak one?
Well, I have a 5-card suit.
You don't play multi?
Multi what? I don't know what you mean. I don't play 2 suited weak bits, if that's what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
I'm not going to do it anyway, even if I did, with 2 aces.
I think the opening bid showing 5 fives are kind of a waste of a bid. 5 fives are actually rarer than you think they are, and to get them in the right range is rarer again. I think you're much better off with natural weak 2s, for example, or intermediate openings. There are a variety of things you can do which are much more frequent. I think you should use the 2 level for things that are frequent.
Well, 5-4 is more frequent than 5-5.
Yes,
so
by a very big margin.
Agree to
So, as I predicted, I got it right for once. Well, 26 would be slamming swing in the other direction. The Dutch did bid to 6 clubs in the other room.
That will tighten up the match again.
So this will just drift one off. One has to be a little careful, of course, you know, strange things happen, as we saw on 25.
I was just checking my stats. A 5-5 shape, specifically 5-5, all combinations, is about 4% of all hands, whereas 5-4 any is more like 25% of all hands. So I thoroughly approve of opening the two level with 5-4s and thoroughly disapprove of opening the two level with 5-5s.
I'm with you all the way.
Well, Michael's at the 3 level, it's a rare bird. So what is Lall going to do here, I wonder? Could of course just blast 6 spades. He's trying to figure out if there is a scientific way to bid the hand. It's difficult, isn't it? So,
good practical choice.
Ha.
Yeah.
Time to call it a day.
There is the smallest piece of interest to the play, but really not much. If spades are 2-0, obviously if spades are 1-1 you can ruff all 4 clubs and it's easy. If spades are 2-0, then you play ace queen of hearts, losing to the king as you expect to, but you get a lot of losers away from north.
So on the queen of hearts you don't ruff, you discard a diamond, and then on the jack of hearts you discard another diamond.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately you deal with your club losers.
Anyhow, it was curious to see that 3 spades was a Michael and that they don't play leaping Michaels over the 2 spades opening.
They do, but the hand is not good enough for that. 4 clubs would show a better hand.
I can understand that, but 3 spades just has a different meaning to me.
Oh, it wouldn't be Michael's to you.
No, it would be either asking for a spade stopper or for minors.
Now this is an interesting hand. If we gave Lall the west hand, would he bid 6 spades?
I think so, yes.
It's a fantastic hand. You don't have to give it too long. How about giving it to me or to you?
Yeah, but the trouble is that you can't quite make it, can you?
Ace of clubs lead, you can throw the king, get to the board, you get the ace king of hearts, but you still have a losing diamond finesse.
Right.
So you can give Grue a very frightening moment if that's the way it pans out. Very good control there from Verhees. He expects to have 2 losers in the minors, maybe 3. They don't play Texas, so 4 hearts for them, I guess, could be relatively wide-ranging.
Well, a couple of specs telling me that he can get to dummy by playing a club. No, he can't. If North is alert, he can go up with the ace of clubs if he leaves a low one. And if he plays the king,
And both plays are clear at this level of the game. The clear danger from the defender's point of view is that Declarer gets the board and makes use of the ace king of hearts. So your only prospect when Declarer leads a low club towards the board, if he has a king, is to win the ace and hope it's flow from king x. And if he leads the king, your only prospect again is to duck. Doesn't matter whether he has more or not, although it's unlikely he would have more.
I'm asked if everyone plays 4 spades as non-forcing here. I don't know about everyone. I play it as non-forcing.
It's non-forcing.
Yes, I said non-forcing.
Okay.
Yeah, our rule is that if 4 of a major can be natural, it is natural.
Light takeout double for the perfect shape. So if you have a perfect shape like 4-4-4-1, you can have 10-11 points for your double. Quite normal.
Yes, that's a much better hand than some of the 4-3-3-14 counts that you feel obliged to double on, but really feel uncomfortable. The 4-3-3, Roland, how much do you feel you need to make a takeout double?
Well, it really depends. If they open a minor and I'm only 3-3 in the majors, it takes 14 for me to double. If I'm 4-3 in the majors, I can do it with less.
Yes, a little more upside. I agree with you, Roland. Oof, this has just picked up the heart suit for no loser.
Yes. The recommended lead, this is a book lead really, and it is not a good lead on this layout.
And it gets worse because now Lall can, informed by the takeout double, he can win the king of hearts, take the club finesse, and if Verhees covers, then it blocks the suit. But if Verhees doesn't cover, the diamond goes away. I think we might see Lall win the king and put the 10 of clubs on the table.
Yes, we talked about that yesterday, Ben, that when you want them to cover, you will lead your highest card from touching cards, and if you don't want them to cover, you would lead your lowest.
Yes. Now, of course, Verhees, getting very deeply into the game, might think if Lall has the 10 and another one, he might just as easily lead the low one. And if he's got the 10 only, he's clearly going to take the finesse because Verhees took a bid, so he might as well cover. So Verhees might still get this right. It'd be interesting to see.
Nope. 10 of clubs. Is still okay though.
Yeah, Van Prooijen can get a ruff with his natural trump trick, but there's no second entry to the West Hand to get a second heart ruff.
Right.
But of course he'll get one regardless because Verhees can't know the partner's spades are this good. So, on to the last board of the set. Time for me to say a few words of appreciation. First to our excellent operator in Veldhoven. His name is Dirk Klauwens. Thanks to my excellent co-commentators Hedy and Ben. Thanks to our colleagues doing the written commentary, David, Al, Barnard and Jupp. And finally, thanks to our faithful listeners. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you will be back later. And later is in 1 hour and 15 minutes at 16:45 Central European Time.
Thank you, Roland, and I'd like to thank the players at this table for finishing 5 boards quicker than at the other table.
Yeah, I fully agree with your sentiment there, Hedy. Sometimes the play can be excruciatingly slow. I mean, really too much.
Quite a bold lead from Lall. Lall had a terrible hand to lead from. Ace-Queen 1 is an unusual lead, but he's decided to go on the attack.
Well, on a good day, your partner comes through with 5 spades to the jack.
Indeed. And De Claro comes through with singles and king, even better.
That is not as frequent.
But on this day, Grue said, I hate your lead, think of something else.
He just hates any lead, doesn't he?
Yes.
Well, he could have just led his 4th best from longest and strongest, which here would have been the 7 of clubs, and then just keep playing away at the clubs. It wouldn't give anything, and eventually he would make his 2 spade tricks, and he'd make 2 club tricks, and he might even make a diamond. You never know.
There you go. Lall chose the ace of spades. Hedy would lead the 7 of clubs, and I would lead the 3 of diamonds.
The 3 of diamonds is a good choice, in my opinion.
Does that mean I'm stuck with leading the 9 of hearts?
Yeah, but that could be a good lead as well. Then that would be my second choice.
It works, because your partner happens to have the 8 of hearts as well as the jack.
Yes. Otherwise it'd be very embarrassing.
And you know, the reason the 9 of hearts could be very good is that dummy didn't bit Stayman, so he's unlikely to come down with 4 in either major. So partner is a favorite to have many hearts.
Partner's favorite not to have any high card points.
Yes, it's not like I'm trying to set up tricks. It's just that I'm trying to be passive here because I have all the defense.
I must admit that I would probably lead the 3 of diamonds, which would be 4th from one of my longest, but not my strongest. Because I really don't like underleading an ace against no trump if I can avoid it, if I have another option.
Yeah, you feel like you're giving away a tempo by unleading an ace.
Yeah.
I was thrown out.
And you usually are.
People don't like me. They kick me out. But
Oh, poor Roland.
I was back in a split second. I mean, they shouldn't kick me out.
You've got the login page ready, huh?
Yes. It's been grueling, 1.5 weeks so far. More than 1.5 weeks. So I'm looking forward to seeing the end of it, of course, on Saturday, and then I'll just sleep for 7 days.
So we've moved on from biblical times. You get to sleep for 7 days, not just on the 7th day.
Right. But some say that bed is the most dangerous play to be, so perhaps I shouldn't.
Right. Most people die in bed.
Yep, it's a fact. We all know about that.
So, nice rest for some of us, more than 1 hour. Good luck to you if you want to follow play in the closed room. We'll be back in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Bye for now.
Would indeed have run to 6 clubs.
Very, very quickly, is my guess.
And he's then sort of perhaps committed to bidding 6 spades, because, I mean, there's no way that, yeah, I think he just decided that with such a huge spade bid, he wasn't prepared to deal with a 6 club bid. I mean, if you redouble and they bid 6 clubs and you bid 6 spades and go 1 off, you feel really, really, really bad, don't you? So perhaps it was not quite as mad as it seems. But I still think that this worry about the Ace King of Diamonds is really playing your partner for not much for bidding 5 spades. I mean, okay, yeah, if you're a lucky partner might have top card in clubs instead of diamonds, but...
Isn't he more likely to have top card in clubs, given that you've got a card in diamonds?
And possibly except for the fact that when the bidding gets very aggressive like that, you think that it's a sort of a freak hand, and you think, okay, it's... I mean, perhaps the opponent should actually, you know, perhaps it should be more of a pure hand, because that's the only way that everyone's bidding is justified, is that it is a bit of a double fit hand. I mean,
the other room has officially completed their match. They're done. They finished the 16 boards.
I mean, perhaps we'll hear what Muller had to say about it, but I mean, I think he just said, yeah, okay, you know, I knew we were making this. I didn't want to deal with deciding what to do when they bid 6 clubs. So I thought, you know, 5 spades doubled, either making on the nose or possibly making +1 is not at all a bad score on the board. And he's right in that, you know, it ensures him a pretty good score, but it's just, it's not going for the brass ring. But
So, on to this hand. What do you do with Wooldridge's hand, apart from throw something over the screen at your partner, which would be my initial reaction?
Well, you know, you have no guarantees that partner has an entry for anything. So I think you just bid 4 spades, as they did in the other room, and press on.
difficult. I mean, is 4 spades to play? Is it constructive? Is it, what is it?
It's to play in my world.
On this side of
As
the
is
pond,
6
it's
spades,
to play.
that's to play too. So he'll lead the ace of clubs here, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and Declare will drop the king on that, and we'll hope that the Queen of Hearts comes down. Well, it's no use, because if the Queen of Hearts were doubled, then North's just going to play a second club at trick 2. So there's no way you can get 3 diamonds away on the hearts anyway. I mean, you might say it's a very good hand for playing count signals on the ace of clubs, so you know that, you know, Declare hasn't actually got a single king. When I suppose continuing clubs could be embarrassingly wrong there. But I mean, it would only be very, very wrong if Declare were actually off the ace of diamonds anyway. No, I mean, there are some times when it could be bad. So you really would like to know how many clubs your partner's got. Wow. Well, now that's not a lead I would expect on this bidding. I mean, could you not just have 2 tricks in the minors, and now they run 8 hearts and 14 spades. I suppose North's just decided, okay, West isn't mad, he isn't going to bid this off 2 tricks in the minors. So
I'd be... I don't think I could steel myself to lead a trump on that auction.
no, I mean your partner could have Jack to 4 trumps with these being void quite easily. I'm surprising lead. North's perhaps worried that West's got a big spade minor 2 suitor, and you could be simply helping him by attacking the minors, but you know, give West something like an absolutely solid hand with, you know, solid spades or something, and you know, King Queen 9 to a bunch of clubs or something. And leading a club could very well give it.
The device has solved the second problem, I guess, he's faced on this hand. He's gone up with the ace of clubs to prevent Declarer getting an entry to dummy, to get a club pitch. I think now he just has to stay off a diamond, doesn't he?
I like that analogy where north-south are Weissmuller, the same with Johnny Weissmuller, who used to be Tarzan back in the 30s and 40s.
North South play that upside down count primarily. The 9 of clubs obviously is not that. I mean, he's obviously intending to suit preference, saying do not play diamonds, partner, whatever you do. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that's
I think that's right,
readable.
isn't it?
It's all very well to vary your signals between...
He doesn't want to play a heart, that's for sure.
The heart's actually okay, but I mean... It's all very well to vary your signals between, you know, count and attitude and suit preference, and that might be theoretically optimum, but you have to have very firm agreements as to which one it is when. I mean, the time you let contracts through in ridiculous fashion is when your partner says, plays the 9, and you're saying, oh, okay, that I think that's encouraging, and then it turns out partner thought it was suit preference or whatever. I mean, some people simply say blithely, oh, you know, we tell partner what we think he needs to know, but in my experience, that's just a recipe for disaster. You have to have better, you know, more specific agreements than that. I mean, here, for example, there are situations where you might very well need to know how many clubs South's got, because you need to know whether Declarer's got King 1 club or King to 3. Because then, you know, he might have an entry to dummy with the Queen of clubs, or he might not. If he's got an entry to dummy with the Queen of clubs, the situation might be more desperate in terms of cashing out in diamonds. I mean, give Declarer just the same hand, but, you know, without the ace of diamonds and with a little club. And another spade, say, and now you've got to cash your partner's diamond before Declarer just leads to the Queen of clubs and throws his 2 diamonds away on the ace king of hearts.
But seriously, Declarer can't have bid. Oh dear.
No, true. I mean, if Declarer's saying he isn't going to be off both minors.
What?
Right,
Look
okay,
at this.
so that's what I think that's what happened, is that North thought his partner was just giving upside down count and went, oh no, partner's only got 3 clubs. So Declarer's started with King to 3, so Declarer has got a dummy entry. I'd better find partner with the ace of diamonds.
But West doesn't bid in 6 spades with 2 small diamonds and no club ace. It just doesn't make any sense.
You are sort of playing West to be mad to do that, but I mean, all I can say is that, you know, this just happens over and over and over again. Is people have these misunderstandings on signals. Person A thinks it means X, and person B thinks it means Y, and you just have a ridiculous result. And if you
This is now the penultimate board of this session. We have board 31 and then followed by the ultimate board 32. As we can see, they reached 4 spades by south in the other room, and we'll see what happens here.
Just going back to that previous hand, I mean, unless I'm going to have lots and lots of agreements, I always try to force my partner to just play only ever count, and that might seem ridiculously rigid, but at least you do avoid that sort of disaster. I mean, if South had simply given counting clubs, North would then have had to work out what to do, and he would have been more at liberty to say, okay, I'm not going to believe that Declare is so mad that, you know, he's off the ace of diamonds and it's necessary for us to cash out. But it's when you actually have wrong information that you have the disasters.
In the other room, against 4 spades, West led the Queen of Hearts, pinned his partner's stiff 10, and picked up the entire suit for Declare.
That's a bit unlucky, isn't it? Yeah, leading the Queen of Hearts. But
Well, it's a fairly natural lead. It's going to be pretty routine to finesse the club again, pitching a diamond, and giving up a heart and 2 spades, making.
He doesn't need to finesse the club again, does he? Well, I guess Rice and Muller were scheduled to sit out the final set today, and I guess they'll have plenty to talk about, but they're a highly experienced partnership, so I don't think it'll work. They'll be annoyed and frustrated to have lost 11 imps when they were going to gain 12 or 13, but as a partnership I'm sure they'll recover.
Yeah, just cash the spades now. Let's get squeezed in the red suits. Probably claim on the squeeze, actually, given the bidding.
Okay, last board of this session. Paul and Bill, thanks for co-commentating. It was indeed a pleasure.
It's been an exciting set, and there's still a very long way to go. This is only the second of 8 sets. So one more set this afternoon that starts in just under 40 minutes from now. And I expect that this match will continue to be on voice commentary, so I hope to see you all then.
I'd like to thank our outstanding operator, Harold Joels. I'd like to thank the World Bridge Federation for permitting us to bring this broadcast to you. I think we should thank Fred and Bridgebase for broadcasting this, otherwise nobody would see it. I think we should thank Roland for assembling all of the commentators and all of the scheduling, because that is it's, in my view, it's a thankless job, but he does it so well, it's amazing. So we'll see everybody in the next session, which should be roughly 53 minutes from now.
So Declarer, I mean, it's basically sort of going to beaver away at spades and South on lead all the time, so he's a little bit stuck. Doesn't really want to give a third trick away in diamonds. And South knows his partner has not got very much. Starting off with a club would have worked better because you don't give a trick away and you can set up your 4th club, and you might then come to 2 clubs and 2 spades and a diamond. But he's got no chance now.
Unfortunately, this is precisely the situation where you'd expect Muller to take a great deal of time, despite the fact that Wooldridge has already called the time monitor on him.
Yes, I mentioned
that's the first time anybody has ever done that to Muller, called the time monitor.
I'm willing to bet it's the first time that Wooldridge has called it on him. Kettle calling the pot black. Or is it the other way round?
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, I remember I mentioned at the beginning of the tournament that it looks as though the organisers were taking quite a stern line with regard to slow play. And it's a lot easier in a round robin because, you know, if a table finishes late, you simply say to them, look, you know, we're going to find someone. And if we can't determine who was at fault, we're just going to find both pairs. You know, you can find both sides in a round robin. You just take some VPs off, but you can't really do it in, you know, there's no point trying to find both sides when it's the final, so you really have to know who's at fault.
Well, Wooldridge lost 7 imps. Wooldridge was fined 7 imps yesterday in the semi-final against US.
Yeah, I mean, presumably by the time you get to the final, there are more officials kind of hanging around, so it's easier to spare them to have someone sit there and see who's holding up the play.
Well, I think we've seen here that it's only really been Muller who's been slow. I'd be happy for him to be fined. If it proved they're not over time, I think they've got 5 or 10 minutes left, so there's not a problem. But I think Muller's the only one who's had prolonged think on this set.
Yes, I mean, I think as a practical measure, you can give them a little more slack when it's the final. I mean, apart from anything else, it's the final, so they want to try to play the best bridge they possibly can and take a long time. And also, it's not. You would think it's not going to be so disruptive. It's not like a massive multi-table round robin where you want to get the next round up and going. I mean, if they're playing the same boards as the Venice Cup and all the rest of it, I suppose there might be some scheduling problems sometimes. But I would have expected the organisers to be a little bit more lenient with time now that it's come to the final.
Actually, I wouldn't. I think bridge is a timed game. They get a fair amount of time to play these hands, and there is an audience to consider. I know that you might not everybody would agree with that. I mean, we do want to see them play well, of course, but it is a timed game, and playing within the time is part of the game.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you all on the next session in 45 minutes. Bye-bye.